Hello, my name is Reid Kirby. Thanks for clicking on the link. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about the Advanced Placement United States Government and Politics course. So let's get started. So what is this course? You might be familiar with the AP program. It is a college course taught in high school. It's not like a college course. It is a college course. It needs to be approved by the College Board. It needs to include college level activities and texts, etc. The course has recently undergone a major redesign, not so much in content, but more in how content knowledge is assessed. Those are going to be integrated into what it is that we do in class, and especially assessment-wise. In terms of the test, which will be coming up this May, as far as the College Board has told the public, they intend for those exams to be administered in their usual format, unlike this past spring. For this course, that format includes two main sections, the first being stimulus-based multiple choice questions. So that is a question format we will utilize frequently in class, followed by a second section of all free response questions. There are four different kinds: concept, application, quantitative analysis, a Supreme Court case comparison, and particularly new, there is an argument essay. So that is a thesis-driven, evidence-based piece of writing. It's not as involved or lengthy as some of the other AP history writings that I'm familiar with. So those that have taken honors English, or certainly any of the AP history courses, will do just fine with that. We will certainly do workshops for each of those throughout the year. So the practice we do in class, and certainly the assessments that we do in class, will mirror those main assessment types, just so that not only are we learning about the content, but we're also helping to prepare for the course or rather the exam come May. I like to keep the grading policy fairly simple. I don't do weighted categories. I'm a social science person, not a math person, so total points value and the point values you see on the screen are pretty typical of how things are weighted. I guess not really weighted, but a test is going to be worth more than homework, etc. In terms of how much there will be this year, that's a little harder to say, since right now we're fully virtual, then we'll go hybrid, maybe we'll go back to virtual. Tough to say. Please do take a look at the syllabus. That will lay out more of the course content and even some sample activities that I anticipate being able to incorporate this year. The textbook will only be available digitally. There are a few hard copy texts that I would like to distribute. We may be able to do that once we're in the hybrid model, but I'm going to strive to make everything as digital as possible, just so that way we're handling less physical material, and things will be accessible both in and out of the building. All the portals to log into the textbook are on Google Classroom. Students should definitely email me if they're having any issues logging on to the textbook or to AP Classroom, which is a requirement as of last year. So encourage them to reach out to me if they're having issues with the textbook. As far as the course itself, this course introduces students to political ideas, institutions, policies, interactions, roles, and behaviors that characterize government and politics in this country. There are political science skills that will be used throughout the course to approach these concepts. They include cause and consequence, interpreting data, relating known practices or court cases to unknown cases. One of the things I really like about the course is that students are asked to apply their knowledge to scenarios that often come from the news headlines. We've already talked about how to consume a balanced diet of news. So hopefully that's something that we're already starting to do in preparation for what I think is such a relevant topic and a relevant course. So here are the main 5 units. I teach them a little bit differently than the order that the College Board has laid out. There's a couple reasons for that. One of which is I like to try to align our elections topic with the election season that's coming up this fall. And I also feel that civil rights and civil liberties serve as a bit of a culminating concept, and it's very helpful for students to have a lot of prior knowledge to covering that later in the year rather than sooner in the year. As far as the skills, I mentioned them a little bit earlier. These skills very much align with the assessment varieties that I've mentioned earlier. Describing and explaining political institutions, that's kind of our base level. Can you name, congressional subcommittees, other key terms relevant to the course? That's kind of skill one. Then connections among political institutions, that sort of takes it another step further. Quantitative data I really like, that's for our visual learners, line graphs, pie charts. How can we display political science phenomena and interpret and extrapolate from quantitative data that we're presented with. Qualitative sources will also be dealt with. Primary and secondary resources, there's about a dozen required foundational documents that this course covers, certainly some Federalist papers, and then about a dozen Supreme Court decisions as well. Skill 5, as you can see, overlaps very well with that argument essay, developing an argument, a thesis, a claim, and then supporting it with evidence. So what is necessary to find success in this course? Commitment and consistency, time management. I think that's going to be exceptionally important this year, considering we just simply won't have as much time together as we have had in the past with the hybrid schedule. So students will need to find the motivation to really delve into content outside of the classroom as well as inside the classroom. It's an elective, so I hope there's already some embedded interest and inherent interest in the subject. There needs to be a desire to improve and to improve growth and not just grades. If you focus on growth and learning, the grades will come. I think that is the order that those two ideas should be addressed in. And something we even talked about already in class, consuming a balanced media diet. It's very easy to get wrapped up in the 24/7 media narrative. We have a unit in this course about the media as a linkage institution. So it's important that we begin to consume across the political media spectrum so that the discussions we have in class won't just be echo chambers or reinforcing preconceived ideas of government and politics, but instead understanding. I've already told the students that the goal in this class is not to be right, but it is to understand. And I think that is a good place to start with. My contact information is here. Email is by far the best and fastest way to contact me. So if you have any questions or concerns, first of all, send me an email. Should we need to follow that up with a phone call, we can certainly schedule that. Email is going to be the best way, especially now that we've begun fully virtual. I don't even have access to my phone at the school as of yet, so certainly email is what I would encourage you to reach out to me through. So thank you again for clicking on this. If you have any questions, don't feel any apprehension in reaching out to me. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.